But let's talk about the story here. Ladies and gentlemen, one man is standing up and fighting back for all of us. One man. And that man is Alex Stein, Primetime 99, suing Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez because she blocked him on Twitter after he called her his favorite big booty Latina. This is what it says. I'm just reading the news, guys. He said his favorite big booty Latina on the steps. She got mad. She blocked him. He's suing her. And this could be interesting because it was previously ruled Trump couldn't block people. And if you're a public official, you couldn't block people. She blocked him. Now he's suing her. Is this the kind of culture warrior that we need right now?
Kind of, yeah.
And deserve?
I think Alex Stein is really hysterical. Yeah. We covered this today at the Post Millennial. Can I read you his comment about it?
Read his comment.
He said, I love and care about this country so much that I am able to put aside my political differences and try to come to the table with all politicians, especially AOC, because we align on more things than she probably thinks. And I want to be able to communicate to her through Twitter because it's the modern day digital town hall and political free speech is the most important protected speech in my opinion. That was all just the one sentence. Yeah, and then he said, great. I love AOC and I hope she can find it in her heart to unblock me.
Oh, wow.
I think Alex Stein actually does really good work in that it's cultural, it's fun. He's not even really conservative. If you've ever listened to his actual policies, he's been on the show. Really. He's fairly moderate or even liberal in some regards. But this is the reason why I think this story is interesting.
It's very anti-NASA, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
he's anti-NASA. That's a wild policy.
Yeah. We argued quite a bit about how the moon landing. He does not believe it happened.
Obviously, failed.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. A bunch of globetards out here.
That's what they say. Globulists.
Globulists.
There's a funny video where a guy does an experiment. There's actually like 50 videos of people doing these guys doing experiments to prove the Earth's flat, and they accidentally prove it's round. And they're like, "Wait a minute, how is this happening?" One guy went on a plane. And he's like, because the Earth is round, the plane will have to dip down every so often to to level out. Which means if he films this leveler, you should see the bubble moving.
Right.
And then when he doesn't see it happen, he's like, that proves it. And it's like, dude does not understand
how it works.
Gravity works.
I've been in planes all my life, man. I've never seen a curve. No curve.
Anyway. People are complaining about Matt Walsh, saying he's too mean. And I don't even think he was that mean. And seeing like Alex Stein, Alex Stein's like a one-up on Matt Walsh. I mean, you could say Matt Walsh is direct, but Alex Stein like really grinds people's gears. Like he goes in front of the protesters.
There are people who hate him.
Yeah.
I love when he goes in front of the protesters and he's
smiling.
just like, hi.
So here's what he does. Here's the technique.
This
is the important component of this. The important component that people need to understand about what Alex Stein does is that he doesn't insult them.
Yep.
He laughs, says, I love you. And he's too tall for them to block. So he holds the camera up and then he just starts saying, I love you, you guys. And he's smiling and it drives them insane. It is one of the most brilliant tactics. So if y'all are concerned about Matt Walsh, we got Alex Stein right here. But let's be real. Alex Stein pisses people off way more than Matt Walsh does. His tactic is more infuriating.
Because it's hard to counter it.
Right.
He's just having a great time. There's this old movie called 1,000 Clowns. Anyway, at one of the kids, he says in the movie, he says, "What are you going to do with someone who has a wonderful time like that?" And that's exactly what's going on with Alex Stein. What are you going to do with someone who's just out there having a wonderful time?
There's an issue on and speaking as like, I don't know, the right or whatever. There's an issue on the right where people just want to be boring. They just hate fun. And it's been like that for a long time. And I had fun at CPAC. I had fun. But
I've read nothing but it was very boring and.
Well, I had fun with Jack. But we had fun.
Yeah.
I don't know about everybody else.
And
we had a blast.
I can speak for myself. I had fun, but. I'm just saying in general, right? There's like an aversion to fun that you can't use fun tactics. So we need Paul Ryan up there talking about cuts to Medicare and Medicaid and Social Security and this little remember his bow tie act that he used to do.
Look. Even Turning Point USA's event was all suits. I think the only people who didn't wear suits on stage was like me and Ian. And I don't think Bannon was wearing a suit, but like everybody's wearing a suit. Yeah, everybody's wearing some kind of dress up.
Well, that's like the uniform, man.
Yeah, but how are you, like does that image attract young people to want to be involved in what you're doing? And I think not really.
It all depends. If your suit is like like a lawyer's suit, that's one thing. But if you're looking like
you saw the audience,
rhinestone tuxedo that's pink and periwinkle or whatever and a big top hat, a lot of people are going to be like really
I
excited
think there
about
just need to be more parties at these things. More parties, more events.
McGregor
more
looks
music,
great when he wears a suit, right? Like
more
he's walking
comedy.
around all, he
Like
looks
it
like
just,
Right,
they
right.
need to do more fun stuff. And
They got on
less
O'Keefe for being
speeches.
fun, right? They tried to go after O'Keefe
That was
for
the thing about that. Go ahead.
having being fun and doing music and trying to break out of this.
Look, not for nothing, but I've been, I have another job where I'm in a band, and we've been, allegedly, we've been around for a bit, and I was putting the flag up in the early part of the teens, like, hey, I'm, into like liberty, and I was big on Ron Paul in 2012, and I was like looking for conservatives that were interested in talking about that, like about my band and stuff, and nobody was listening, and the left hated me because I was, the left was just as left as they are, so it's something that the conservatives and the right has to get their act together on. And it's like when you've got people like the Daily Wire and like Tim and stuff like that trying to make culture, the other like establishment, right, they're lagging behind, and they have been for a long time.
Didn't Rogan just open a new comedy club?
Yeah, Comedy Mothership.
I
think
like
it's
that
called, right?
name.
Isn't it
Yeah.
interesting how comedians like
I wonder if we can do an event
Russell
there.
Brand, or like you go to the older, the Norm Macdonald clips that are coming out, or even George Carlin old clips will come out, and it's like comedians have this ability to tell more truth and actually move the needle better than or Ryan Long when he does stuff to move the needle and actually get this stuff across better than
That's like with
people on the right.
That's like with Alex Stein, right?
like
Because
and that's
it's
what's- yeah, that's what I'm
funny.
saying.
Like if you're laughing,
You know who
it's
else is
gonna come in
funny?
a lot easier.
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is funny.
He's very funny. He's a
hilarious.
comedian. Anybody who's ever been to like him giving a speech, he's doing stand up. It's crazy.
Well, and he
a
feeds off
stand-up
the crowd.
routine.
He's great up there.
It is like George Carlin was comedy with some politics. His is politics with comedy, but like you're laughing the whole time. It's crazy.
Well, it's a
And Norm
fun
Macdonald,
time.
one of his final interviews, he actually says that. It's like I think with his sister-in-law up in Canada, and he was talking about how he kind of catches himself. So Norm is in the interview, and he's like, I went to see Trump at one of these great. I mean, not that I went. I mean, I just want to see what it was like, right? He kind of catches himself before he just admits to going to a Trump rally.
I love Norm.
And he said, but I went to see him do one of these speeches, and anyone who's been in the circuit knows exactly what he's doing. That it's a stand-up routine. He's putting on an act.
Yep.
He's got his material. And what's great for him is that so he's able to use whatever's going on in the news cycle, can then feed into that. And it was even better is that so the reporters in these, if you look at it through that framework, the reporters become like hecklers. And so they're heckling him. And of course, the greatest one of these, the greatest exchange is the one reporter, and he goes, all right, yeah, you asked a question next. Look at her. She's shocked. She's in a state of shock that I called on her. And he goes, I'm sorry, I wasn't thinking. It's okay. I know you're not thinking. You never do. Excuse me?
quick.
Excuse me? He goes,
It's
no, sorry.
funny.
Ask your question. Go ahead. Make it a good one.
I went to that White House social media summit. I was the only one not wearing a suit in the White House. That
Oh,
was
really?
funny.
You went to that?
Yeah, I was with Bill Ottman. And
My goodness, I have so many questions.
he just gave a speech, and then we didn't really do anything. Nothing got resolved. I thought there was going to be a real conversation around.
Were there like memes like posted up and stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Twitter posts,
Yeah.
like on
Like in tweets,
easels
yeah.
and stuff like that.
Right,
It was really
right.
funny. And but we were just laughing the whole time. I mean, he was doing stand up. I mean, one of my favorite things is when he was like, "The lights, they make me look orange," and like he knows he's a funny guy.
That's a huge thing with him though, because he's been doing media for so long that before you do an interview with Trump, he will sit there and say, "Let me see how I look. Let me see that. Let me see the look.
Do I look
No, I don't
orange?
like that. Turn that light off. That light turn off. Turn this one on. Turn that one off. Wait, no, angle this down." He'll do all of that because he gets it. He gets how that system works. And he knows that image is everything.
So-
Well, it goes back to
I
the
heard
JFK Nixon debate. when
yeah,
Nixon
the
was safe
1960.
and-
Yeah, exactly.
CPAC is supposed to be the big deal. And all I've heard from people was that it was stagnant, it was boring, not many people showed up. I had someone say that 10 years ago they went, you couldn't even get a hotel room. This time they showed up like a day right before the event, and there were tons of hotel rooms available, like nobody was coming to it. And that's kind of worrisome, I would say. But there's got to be...
Well, it's not an election year, so that's part of it.
Still, I mean, there's got to be some energy. something's got to bring some energy into. Maybe CPAC isn't the answer. Maybe there's got to be some kind of like, I don't know, coalition. Well, thanks for watching this clip from the Timcast IRL podcast. Hang out with us live Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. and become a member over at timcast.com for uncensored, members-only shows exclusive. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all next time.